Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? The video for the discussion's entitled All My Friends Are Illiterate, or otherwise known as the book Hermit. The reason called this video that, recently at work, sometimes people ask you like, oh, what's your hobbies, or what do you do for fun? And you say the typical things. Oh, I like to do this or that. And usually it gets a lot of follow-up questions like, I don't know. Like, if you say, oh, I like to go to the gym or whatever, they're like, oh, what do you do? Where do you go? Or if you like to travel, oh, where do you travel to? Where have you been? Or stuff like that. Or if you like sports, they're like, oh, what's your favorite team? But I noticed recently when I bring up reading, a lot of people don't ask follow-up questions about it. They don't say like, oh, who's your favorite author? Or what type of books do you like to read? Or do you enjoy audiobooks? Or however, just any follow-up questions. They're like, oh, that's nice. And it makes me wonder, like, do they feel like I'm trying to be like, oh, I'm smarter than you, or oh, sure, you read, you know what I mean? Like, you've read one book this year, congrats. And it's kind of sad, really, because I guess it goes with today's society, with people either having kids, or work, or school, and no one has time to read, no one has time to have any more deep thoughts, because it's always about everything, you have to do everything quickly. And reading, honestly, unless you're a speed reader, but then if you speed read, for me, my own personal opinion, you don't really dive into the meaning of the book. And it seems like a lot of people nowadays don't, that I know personally, not so much on the internet. If it was only on the people I knew on the internet, everyone and their mother reads. But that's not the case, though, when I go out to society or interact with people. I find a lot of people don't actually read. And I'm not saying they're actually illiterate. It was just a fun play on words. But what's worse, being illiterate and having actually good excuse not to read, or being able to read and not choosing to? And this video isn't about like, oh, I'm better than you because I read. I'm sure it's like other readers have. But there's something about reading that I feel that makes you a better person. You can understand people better. You can understand where another person's point of view, or just build a world strictly with your imagination, or just imagine yourself as another person, or in a different situation, and exploring someone else's mind. And some of the books that are written, especially like books in the 1800s, 1700s, even live in a different, or imagine yourself in a different decade, or a different year, a different century. And I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know how to discuss reading better. Especially, you don't want to come off as too self-righteous or anything. Well, like, I read, blah, blah, blah. But, I personally don't know how to bring it up, especially if they don't ask follow-up questions, because I don't want to be rude or inconsiderate. But I do notice a lot of people will talk more about either sports, video games, movies, and I just feel like it's sad that in today's society that we are so rushed that we can't sit down and enjoy a book. Like, oh, I have to be cleaning, or I have stuff to do, or, you know what I mean? There's always something you have to do, but then people will binge watch a lot of stuff on Netflix, but they can't just open up a book and sit in silence. And I know, to each their own. And there is a lot of people who do read and who also write. I would like to try my hand at writing, but I don't know right now. It's a lot harder than what it looks. But we have so much things to do in society, and we're so distracted by images that we forget the beautiful art of storytelling. We are just so distracted with, like, movies per se. Oh, the graphics were good, or it was so realistic, or how was the acting? But very rare. If we could look beyond that as a society and get back to the art of storytelling, I feel like it would make the world a little bit better place. Because unlike watching a movie or listening to music, you're thinking more. You're using your thoughts more to interact with others and seeing their point of view, but also with yourself. You tend to process more during reading. And especially when you're younger, you don't tend to have, or for me, I don't tend to know a lot of people my age or slightly younger that want to process those deep thoughts. They're always about, like, oh, I need to do this, or I want to do that. And, I don't know. I find when I discuss books, people are a little bit interested, but they would rather hear it from me, or maybe just wait till the movie comes out. I hate that. I hate when people are like, why read it? I'll just wait till... I remember I had a friend a few years back, and he said, if any book's worth reading, they'll make a movie of it. And that's sad, because there's a lot of good books with really crappy movies, and I don't know. Sometimes it gets me down, a little depressed with how people interact. But I wasn't around like in the 1800s, hopefully not. I don't think I look that old. But I just wonder if reading was still something kind of the minority did and not the majority. I don't know. I mean, I could read about it, but who really knows unless you live through it? I do notice a lot of older people read, but from what I've experienced or witnessed, usually, especially the area I live, I don't live so much in the Bible Belt, but kind of close. And it seems to be either nonfiction books or religious books, which isn't bad. I'm not discrediting anyone for wanting to read those or anything. But it's hard for me at least, to find friends that read fiction. And just general fiction, be it romance, horror, literary, or, mystery, thrillers, what have you. Because when you read fiction, I feel like you can explore topics or situations or people that you won't usually experience with other genres of like nonfiction. And you can explore greater ideals. Because I feel that a lot of art is appreciated, be it animation, paintings, music, movies, and they should be appreciated. Some of them are very good, some of them are very thought-provoking, but it just always makes me sad a little bit how, not people on the internet, I love BookTube, and I really do appreciate all of you guys, but it just makes me a little sad about how the people I know in my life don't really appreciate books as much as I do. And I know in bigger cities it's easier to find those people, but right now I don't live in a bigger city, and the area I live in isn't too hip on reading because we don't really even have a bookstore close by. I think the nearest one is like 2 hours away. Besides, if you don't count like Walmart or one of the other big retail stores that has a little section of books of like whatever's like super popular right now. Like the airport authors, where the author's name is bigger than the title of the book. Which some of those books aren't bad. I mean, I've read some. Excuse me. There we go. But I don't know. Those ones I never find as hard-hitting as, like, some of the lesser-known books, or, like, books, I don't know, just, they don't carry the biggest selection known to man. And even the libraries here are pretty small, very, very small. But, I mean, not always bigger is better, but, I don't know, I just wish people would read more. And I guess that's my thoughts. Do you guys have any friends that read, or do you feel like yourself are a book hermit and all by your lonesome? That's how I feel. That's why I titled this also known as, because I know reading's a solitary activity, but sometimes I would like to discuss it with others. And yes, I do enjoy BookTube, and that's why I did get on this group, this subculture, if you will. But sometimes it would be nice just to have this discussion with other people, one-to-one. And more people, the merrier, I guess. But, yep, that's my thoughts and opinions. If you have any below, leave down in the comments. And if you like and subscribe, do that. I would much appreciate it. And thanks, guys. See you next time. Oh, real quick. So, I've been wanting to do another book review, but the book I'm reading is like really, really long. Like, look at this. It's like almost big as the Bible or something. I'm about like halfway through. No, I'm a little over halfway through. It's called Beyond the Bedroom Wall by Larry Woodwood. I can't say that right. Wildwood. But hopefully I will be finishing that soon and discussing that in a later date. Also, I may be planning on moving within the United States. Currently I'm in Texas, but I am considering moving back to Ohio within the next few months, because that's where I grew up, and I guess I kind of miss my home state, or my actual home. So I may be moving back there semi-soon. I'm not sure yet. I guess I'll keep you guys updated on that too. If the background changes, I definitely moved. So, yeah, so we'll see about that. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Bye.